Welcome everyone to our last info session of the summer. I'm excited to be joined by some great panelists today. So the topic of today's info session is to give everyone a sneak peek at orientation, fall semester, and a little bit more. A few housekeeping items before we get started. So you might have noticed today's webinar is being recorded, so this will be sent out after we're finished. We've enabled closed captioning, so you can activate those at any time if you need them. We are in a Zoom webinar, so we cannot see or hear the audience. We can't call on raised hands, just an FYI on that. So if you do have a question, please use the Q&A feature, not the chat, to submit your questions. One of my colleagues, Clarissa Jackson, an admissions and recruitment specialist in our office, is also here on the webinar today. So she will be answering questions in the chat for us as we go along. We'll also try to save some questions for the end if we have time. And if we don't have a chance to answer your question, please reach out to us via email at brownadmissions@boostle.edu. Topic for today, like I said before, is a sneak peek at orientation, fall semester, and more. I am guessing that most of our people in the audience today are incoming students. We might have a few students here or attendees who have not applied yet. So we welcome you. Hopefully we're giving you a sneak peek of what may be in your future next year. But we would like the questions to kind of stay on topic today for orientation and fall semester. So any other questions outside of that, shoot us an email and we will get back to you. And with that, we will go into some introductions. So hi, everyone. I'm your host for today, Shayna Peterson, she, her pronouns. I work in the Office of Admissions and Recruitment at the Brown School. I'm an associate director in our office. And our agenda for today is, first of all, we're going to do our panel introductions, pop over to the people that are way more important than me here. And then we will dive into some info and tips for incoming students, give you a sneak peek at orientation, give you a sneak peek at our fall semester, and then move on to your questions. So pretty simple. All right, panelists, we have 3 amazing panelists with us here today. So I would love to hand it over to you all. And panelists, if you could just share your name, your pronouns, the role that you have at your school, and then something you've been doing that's fun this summer. Tyler, would you like to kick us off?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tyler Deshawn. It is lovely to be here with all of you. I've gotten to do a couple of these, and these have definitely been like the highlights of my day when I get to come in here and chat with everyone. My pronouns are he, him, and I currently serve as the Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management here at the Brown School. And so we've been eagerly anticipating everyone's coming this upcoming fall, but also enjoying a slightly quieter summer here in the buildings. I can tell you I'm a hardcore extrovert and I do not do well when it is this quiet. So if you could please come as quickly as possible so that it is a little more hustly and bustly around here, I will certainly appreciate that. I'm located up on the 3rd floor of Brown Hall. Please come and see me. And I will turn it over to Deshawn.
Hello, everyone. My name is Deshawn Scott. I use he, him, his pronouns. I serve as Assistant Director of Student Engagement. Something that I've been doing this summer with friends and family, just trying out different snow cone places. So I'm lactose intolerant, fun fact. So I like to try different things, snow cones across St. Louis, and supporting small businesses.
Hi, I'm Charlene Cabernet. I am an associate professor of practice at the School of Public Health and director of the master's program. I just started in this position in June, so my summer has been taken up by learning all that I can about this position. So I'm glad to be here today and welcoming you all to the school.
Great, thank you all. So just for students in the audience to know, part of the purpose of the webinar today is for you to begin to see the faces that are on the screen, right? So you've been working with my team and admissions for the last year, but we are handing you off when you arrive here to all the faces on the screen here. So these will be some of your main contacts when you become a student. Obviously, wonderful people for you to begin to familiarize yourself with. So, little bit of info for you here before we move in to the sneak peek at orientation. Wanted to just give some friendly reminders for our incoming students. None of this should really be new, but just some important information. We know that there is a lot that goes into beginning grad school, moving to St. Louis, all the things that you all are doing right now. So stay calm, but please stay on top of things. My office is doing a lot of work just to try to give everyone the information they need. I know we're sending you a lot of emails. We're providing a lot of information on our website. So try to stay on top of things as much as you can. A few things on this screen that we want to make sure we remind everyone of. First, register for new student orientation. The Brown School registration information went out today, so you should have an email in your inbox about registering for orientation. School of Public Health orientation information. I believe, Charlene, is that going out this week or has that gone out already?
I believe it has gone out, but I will double check on that.
Okay, I know it's going out soon-ish, so public health students, you should also be receiving that soon. So everyone does need to register for new student orientation. Everyone, of course, needs to register for classes this fall, so you should all have received an email about this. We also have a lot of detailed information on our website under the incoming student task section, so lots of detailed information there on how to create your academic class schedule and register for classes. So please stay on top of that. Registration begins next week, Tuesday, July 22nd. You also should be making your way through all of your incoming student tasks in Workday, which is our system. So be sure that you enable notifications in Workday so that you can stay on top of those tasks. Read your emails regularly. Again, I know that we're sending a lot of information, but it is all important information for you to have. And then make sure that you're preparing for, of course, all the tools that you need to succeed when you get here. So housing, make sure you have a computer that has the required, the laptop requirements, transportation, parking needs, all information about that, again, is things that we've sent you via email and is located on our website. So just some things to be mindful of over the next couple of weeks. With that being said, you are not alone, of course, in your graduate school journey. So lots of WashU teams here to support you. Just wanted to give everyone a reminder of a lot of the teams that are here at the Brown School and at the university to support you in coming into the school and coming into this whole experience. So we have the Graduate Center, which is a center at WashU that supports all of our university's graduate students. Once you become a student, you'll have access to the Writing Center here and the Speaking Studio to help you with papers, to help you with presentations. We have opportunities for you to join university-wide graduate student groups to make friends and start to build your community here. We have a Center for Career Engagement that supports every student at the university to help with resume prep, starting to make connections, finding jobs, things like that. We have a student health center and a team called WashU Cares just to help with any of your mental health and physical health needs. The Office for International Students and Scholars, OISS. I'm sure all of our international students are familiar with this office by now, so they will continue to support you as you become a student on campus. Disability Resources is here to support any accommodation needs for incoming students and current students. And then, of course, just simple stuff like parking and transportation. Where am I going to park my car? We have a whole office on campus to help you figure out what parking pass you need, get access to our shuttles that run around campus and in the surrounding neighborhoods, get access to your student pass to take public transportation and all of those things. So lots of teams here to support you. And our office is, of course, happy to connect you with any of these resources that you need. All right. So in terms of orientation, we will dive right into this now. The first orientation we will talk about is the Brown School orientation. So this will be for our incoming MSW and MSP students. The purpose of orientation, everyone probably knows, is just to create connections, deepen your familiarity with the school community, and just help you start your graduate school journey with confidence. So Brown School orientation will be 2 days this fall, just over a month from now. So Wednesday, August 20th, all day from 9 to 4:30, and then Thursday, August 24th, also from 9 to 4:30. Lunch will be provided. Thursday's session will end with a resource fair and an optional social event in the afternoon. Would highly encourage going to that. We also have a incoming international student orientation for Brown School students that is required. That is on Tuesday, August 19th, from 8:30 to 2:30. Would love to pass it over to you, Deshawn. I'm going to stop talking for a few minutes and pass it to you. You are the orientation king extraordinaire, so I know you're still finalizing the schedule. Can you share a little bit about what students can expect those couple of days?
Yes. So again, the Brown School's new student orientation is 2 days, which is taking place on campus. This is an opportunity for you all as incoming students to build community and for us to give you all the essentials and tools that you need for your success as a graduate student. So over those 2 days of new student orientation, you can expect to meet with faculty and staff and second year students and third year students. You also get introduced to your degree specific program. So learning what does it mean to be MSW student? What does it mean to be MSP student? And learn what's expected throughout your time as a graduate student. Then you also get the opportunity to explore like the concentrations and specializations if you're a social work student throughout multiple breakout sessions that we will have on the first day. And then you receive guidance on field education, so including like tips for success as a practicum student. What does that mean, taking practicum during your time here? Then you hear from current students on the student panel to hear about their experience and ask your questions and hear from them of like, what is it actually like to be a grad student? What can I do outside of the classroom or engage in the community in St. Louis or anything of like, where to get my hair done or where can I go to the grocery stores or just the smaller things that you may have questions about as well. Then we'll connect you with campus resources and advisors and a resource fair. And we'll top it off with our happy hour social on that Thursday evening as well. So it's going to be a full and informative 2 days, which is it's designed to help you all feel more connected and prepared to be part of the Brown School and living in St. Louis. So we're excited to welcome everyone. And again, the schedule will be posted at the end of this month to our website, so you all get more information about that too.
Sean, it's a busy couple of days, but super important. And I know your team is putting a lot of work into making it very meaningful for students. All right. So Charlene, we will talk about school public health now. So all of our incoming public health students, master's public health students specifically, who are probably most of the people on this call. So the School of Public Health is having their orientation for both new and returning students Thursday, August 21st and Friday, August 22nd. And I know I just said new and returning students. The morning, my understanding is that the morning is going to be for both new and returning students, and then the after 10:30 and on programming will be just for new students. So I will go ahead and turn it over to you, Charlene, to talk a little bit about what our public health students can expect.
Yes, thanks, Sheena. Just like Deshawn said, the programming is very similar for the MPH students, with the caveat that the morning session through 10:30 is for all public health students. Since this is the first orientation for the School of Public Health, we wanted to invite all students so that we can all be oriented to the new school. Some of the things that that I'll highlight from the orientation is we will all have the opportunity to listen to the first lecture about what is public health. First lecture that you'll attend, given by our own Dean Galea. And then we will go into your degree programs, curriculum overviews. You'll hear about the student applied practice experience. So learning about applied practice opportunities, and then concentration overview sessions, academic advising, and then we'll also do public health professionalism and ethics components. We'll also have a student panel on the second day where current students will be able to answer any of your questions along with some faculty as well. And then we'll end with a resource fair and community and faculty engagement opportunities. I also forgot to mention that Thursday evening, there will be an optional evening social event. So I invite you all already to that. We're still in the middle of planning what that will be or what that will look like. But keep note of that as well. We're really excited to host the first ever orientation for the new school and hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlene. Yeah, lots of similarities there, but like you said, this is a really exciting time for, I think, the Brown School and for the School of Public Health is the launch of the School of Public Health. So you'll be able to do programming just for public health students and things that are a little more focused on public health. And then same thing with the Brown School. It'll be a little smaller than we've seen in the past, but a great opportunity for our social work and social policy students to really come together and meet each other and start to form their community. So I'm excited to be part of this and see how these orientation events go. Tyler, I know that you have worked in student affairs for many, many years, so would love to hear just any advice that you have for students on preparing for orientation events. Like, how should students prepare for orientation? How should they start to prepare for this first week on campus?
Yeah, it can definitely feel very overwhelming as you are considering taking on this, this really wonderful new endeavor in your life, coming to graduate school. Come with an open mind and definitely like try to put on your meeting new people hat, whatever that looks like for you. I definitely recognize that there are going to be some folks in the room who are like me, who are like, ooh, people, I love people, I want to be around all of them. And then there's going to be some folks in the room who may not gravitate towards that type of energy, and that's fine. Okay, there are that's one of the really wonderful things about coming to the Brown School and even within our public health crew is we have a really diverse group of people who you're going to have some folks who are going to want to sit and chill and relax with you, and maybe there's a little bit more comfortable silence, and there's definitely some folks who are going to want to run around campus and just be all kinds of energetic and crazy. Just be open and try to put yourself out there as much as you can as you seek to meet new people. And then one big thing is you don't need to remember everything. Okay. When you come to orientation and you're hearing from the faculty and you're hearing from your advisors and you're hearing from all the different administrators trying to share about what your experience is going to be like, you don't have to remember everything, but that there are places that you can refer back to. And we're oftentimes going to say, well, here's where you can find that information, or here's the right office or the right resource for you to go to. You're going to be getting hit up with lots and lots of resources. The one thing to take away is, and maybe plant in your brain is, oh, there's someone who I can go to for that, and plant that in there. And then we can always reiterate later who exactly that is. That's one of the kind of purposes of our folks here who work in student affairs is, we're kind of like triage. So if you remember anything from this conversation, you can always come to one of us and be like, I'm feeling X, or I'm thinking Y, or I'm not really sure about Z. We can direct you. Okay. That's a part of our job is we can direct you. But otherwise, try to have fun and explore campus and get to know the buildings and get to meet some people. It should be a lot of really good times. And there's going to be also opportunities for kind of all kinds of learners. So folks who are really energetic and want to be out there, and then folks who need a little bit more time. Both of those spaces are going to exist for you.
Tyler. Excuse me. So wanted to highlight a few other orientation events that are going to be going on that week. So first, on Saturday, August 16th, we have some international student programming that's going to be put on through OISS and OISE. This is for international students only, highly recommended for students to attend. Excuse me. The Saturday afternoon session from 11 to 12:30 that will cover immigration and things for new students to graduate students to know. OISS and OISE are also putting on an afternoon incoming international student welcome mixer, so that should be really fun. Again, that programming is really geared towards our international students. Sunday, August 17th, the Graduate Center, which if you remember from a few slides ago, the Graduate Center is that center at WashU that supports all of our graduate students at the university. They're going to be putting on a student welcome in the afternoon on Sunday, followed by a student resources fair and fair. So that means that there will be resources there, and the fair part is St. Louis style food, which I think will be really fun. So highly recommend attending that if you can. The Graduate Center is also going to be hosting 2 walking tours each day the week of August 18th through August 22nd. So highly recommend going on one of those if you're new to the WashU campus, just to familiarize yourself with the Danforth campus. You can learn more about the Graduate Center programming at gradcenter.woostel.edu. And then I also wanted to highlight a lot of students ask us about job fairs and getting jobs on campus. So you might also want to mark the date for August 28th. That will be after classes start. But in the afternoon of August 28th, WashU will host an on-campus employment fair. So that is a great opportunity for students to connect with campus employers for part-time jobs. So not entirely an orientation event, but part of orienting yourself to campus. All right. New things we wanted to highlight about our fall semester. So in here, I just included some important dates for people to know. The academic calendar for the whole university is available online, so you can always go online and find dates for this academic year, next academic year. But if you want to go ahead and mark your calendar, the first day of classes is Monday, August 25th. Fall break is going to be in October, the 4th through the 7th. Thanksgiving break, where you won't have classes, will be November 26th through the 30th. And then the last day of the fall semester is Wednesday, December 17th. So just a few important dates there for you to remember. Also, there's some fun things in here about St. Louis. So fall is a really fun time to be in St. Louis. There's a lot of events because the weather is beautiful. I think our city is like, let's do everything in September. It's just beautiful outside. Everyone wants to be there. So there's always a symphony concert on Art Hill, which is very near, walkable from the Brown School and the School of Public Health area. We also have a balloon glow, which is pretty unique in our city. That's in Forest Park. We have the Great Forest Park Balloon Race. Also in September, there's a music festival. Tower Grove Farmers Markets will be on Saturdays through November 1st. And then there's another fun event called Food Truck Friday in Tower Grove Park, and those are on select Fridays. So just a few fun things to put in there for everyone as they think ahead to the fall. Would love to ask the panelists again, anything that you would like to share about the upcoming fall semester that's happening at the Brown School, School of Public Health, or maybe the university in general. Anything you all want to share?
Oh, sorry, Deshaun, did you want to go first? Okay. So the School of Public Health is going to be starting a weekly public health seminar series, or speaker series, I should say, and those will be on Wednesdays from 12 to 1. They will mostly be at our research hub over in the Cortex community area of St. Louis. There is the MetroLink has a stop there, so all full-time students get a MetroLink pass, a free MetroLink pass, so you can take the pass to get from Danforth campus over to Cortex. And then they will also be hosting some of those speaker series weeks over at Danforth as well. So really excited about that. There's going to be a host of different speakers ranging from practitioners to researchers. And so it'll be really exciting, I think. And we're excited to kick that off.
For us, we've just been planning different events throughout the school years so students can continue on building community here at the Brown School. So we have different like happy hours. We also work with our student coordinator council who help plan certain events. So sometimes we'll have like professional development events, so such as mindfulness, where you can come in there and sometimes you need to decompress from things. Then we also have like game nights, trivia nights, or just office hours that you can have open coffee hours that you can have like with faculty, staff, and students. So that's some things to look forward to this school year. But yeah, just I know everybody just taking it one day at a time, but we'll be there and get through it.
Yeah, something to note as you approach grad school at WashU is there is never a day where there isn't something you could go to. And that's one of like the kind of the perks of being at such a, kind of like a big national and really well-resourced institution like WashU. And that's one of the things that we really seek to complement and amplify is that there's lots of events going on across campus. Our Gephardt Institute for Civic Action last year around this time was real busy, right? As they were amping up for the election and really getting prepared to help students engage civically. They maintain programming all year long and would be a great group to go and partner with. We have as Deshaun mentioned, a number of wellness initiatives, and certainly there's ways to just really engage, whether it's within the community or if you want to stay within the WashU bubble, you can do that as well. But trust me when I say there is no absence of things to do when you get here. If you're someone who likes to get out and about, you will probably have to restrict yourself a little bit because there are so many things that you can do.
That's so true, Tyler. It's kind of overwhelming, I think, at first, because I know I wanted to just kind of like soak everything up, and I think a lot of students are the same way. And so, just an abundance of opportunities, especially in these first couple of months. That leads into one of the questions I wanted to ask all of you also, which is, are there any hidden gem offices or teams, just kind of like hidden gems as people who have been on the WashU campus for a while now? What would you recommend for students that an office that would be particularly helpful for them to know about, or maybe a space on campus?
I think so. I have seen Brown School students really enjoy, as I mentioned, the Gephardt Institute, just with some of the programming that they do. Our Office of International Students and Scholars, as well as our Office of the International Student Experience, OISS and OASE, those two work really in tandem. Those are not just for international students, but they're a really great resource and a group of people who seek to support just the experience of a more global community. I also, would really want to push RSVP, which is our Rape and Sexual Violence Prevention Office, particularly for our social work students. There's so much salience there around the work that they're doing, as well as some of the work that you're going to be studying and thinking through. Kim Webb, who oversees that office, is just a really great campus resource and someone with whom, if you're interested in that work, is always seeking to have students as practicum students and or just involved in any way, shape that they can be. So would definitely want to plug them as a really great place to go explore and think through how you can engage both academically and personally with them also. But I'll turn it over before I list off all the offices of the university.
Those are some good ones, though.
For me, I would say hidden gems would be sorry, I don't know why they back here in the background. Hidden gems would be going to the graduate center. They always have free coffee and you can interact with other graduate students there. And then, of course, we have Clark Fox Forum. So we have Coffee Stamp, which is a dining service that you can come here, which is near the Brown School, that you can get like empanadas or coffee or different types of teas that you may be interested in as well. And then some people like the library too. I like to read, so the library is a great place to kind of decompress and get away from the classroom and study there too.
Love it. Yes, we're always looking for places with free coffee. I feel like that's a great tip. Charlene, how about you? Any hidden gems for you or that you know of for students?
So I've been at the university for 15 years, and only last year did I discover there was a rose garden uh, on campus. It's off of Forsyth, and it is lovely. I highly recommend going in there. There are little benches to sit on and just have a peaceful moment. And I really enjoy walking past and sitting there for a bit if I have the time. So I highly recommend it.
Oh, I love that. Is that that's like kind of across from the duck on Forsyth?
Yes.
Okay.
At
So
that light, it's the light.
The butterfly garden.
Butterfly
Butterfly,
garden, yeah,
yes.
the rose urn, yeah. I was gonna put some context on there for people who so Forsyth is the street that runs right next to the Brown School and where School of Public Health is right now. And so this garden is maybe not a 5-minute walk, if that. So that's a great tip for students who will be in these buildings. Another question for you, Charlene, specifically, since you've worked very closely with current students, is there anything that students can be doing over the summer to help just prepare themselves for the start of the semester? Maybe thinking maybe academically, maybe thinking more emotionally, just any kind of like preparations that would be helpful for people.
Sure. I think one of the first things is to write down any questions that you might have that pop up at any moment in time about any of these things, academic, just living in St. Louis, trying to learn about the community, etc. Just keep a tab open on your phone or your computer and write those questions down. So hopefully one of us can help guide you to where we could get the answers for that. The second is, to have a plan in terms of how you're going to balance, your school life and the work that you do and the way that you will protect time for yourself to be able to decompress and have a social life, etc. So I think going in with open eyes and open ears it will be great. And just knowing that graduate school is going to be a little different than undergrad, and be open to kind of experiencing things as they come along, and working with our team and the community to help get you through that transition.
Definitely is a big transition. So lots of support here available. I like the idea of just like keeping an open tab of running questions. I think people probably have a lot of tabs open in their head right now as they're thinking of things. So just like brain dumping that on a Word document is a good way to kind of keep that organized and have a space for that. Tyler and Deshawn, not Tyler Deshawn, but Tyler and Deshawn. Any tips on your end for incoming students? We did have a question that was pre-submitted about how students can like make friends, how they can create community on campus if they're coming here, maybe not knowing very many people. Do you have any thoughts on that or any advice that you would give to students?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, for some folks, you're going to come and you're going to, run around and meet folks, and orientation is going to offer a great opportunity for that. But as you get into your classes and you start working on like group assignments and different projects, you're going to naturally meet quite a few folks, and you're going to walk away from those, classrooms and those experiences with opportunities to engage socially with people. One of the kind of interesting differences or nuances of going to graduate school versus being an undergrad is people are coming here from like very different, like a very broad spectrum of experiences. You're going to have quite a few folks who are coming to grad school right out of undergrad, and they are, going to be approaching it from kind of a more traditional, like, early mid-20s mentality. And you're going to have folks who are in their 40s and 50s. They have families. There's going to be people with grandkids. Like, there's just this big, broad spectrum. And so with that, people are coming here as well with different kind of desires for what their graduate social experience is going to look like. They're going to some folks are coming in and they're like, I want to meet all the humans, and there's going to be those people, and there's going to be some folks who are like, I'm coming to go to class, and I got to get home because I got to like put dinner on the table for like all these humans that are tiny, that rely on me, or whatever that may look like. And so, and that's really neat, right? It offers this really robust experience, and it's going to really amplify the types of conversations you have in class and the way that you engage with each other. So, just recognize that people are going to be coming at this from different backgrounds, but also embrace that, right? And that's going to be one of the joys. I mean, the perk of studying social work and public health and social policy is you're really studying people and how people are working, and the systems that are involved there. And so having that diversity of experiences coming to the table is really neat. Deshaun, we also recognize that my last name and Deshaun's first name are very similar, and so we always play that fun little game there.
Um, One thing I'd like to add to that, like when finding community, I
Oh, I think you might.
I think Deshaun's internet is
it's
at
John,
least,
I think
at least your frozen picture is a really big smile. Oh, and there he goes. Okay,
that's right.
we'll bring him back in a second.
sure.
I think we're in the same building, so that's interesting. um, Hopefully we'll get him back, but we actually are almost towards the end here. I've been keeping an eye on the Q&A just to see if we had any live questions. They've all been answered, it looks like. So thank you so much to Clarissa and anyone else who's been in there answering questions. Please feel free to submit more. Oh, you're back, Deshaun. Hello.
Hello. Dealing with issues here, but make it work. But yeah, one thing I was saying earlier is finding a community was to make sure that you offer people patience and grace. Because again, what Tyler had mentioned, that everybody's from different time periods, different age stage of their life, and like they so tell people like learning is an ongoing process with finding community. So keep that little tidbit.
Yes, I think I've heard you say showing grace. This is a time of significant like learning. A lot of change is happening in everyone's life. So just approaching that with understanding and grace, and knowing that this is, things take time. It takes time to make friends and make connections sometimes. And it takes time to acclimate. So we're kind of all in this together. And I think if we can all approach that together, that makes it a lot easier for ourselves and for other people. So, someone said I joined late. Can we go over MSW orientation again? We probably don't have time to go over it again, but I can try to go back to the slide and keep that up for a second. Let's see here.
Big thing to know for orientation is be there or be square.
Yes, it is required for MSW and MSP students, as is the international student orientation for MSW and MSP students at the Brown School. So please be there. Please make plans to be there. You'll get a lot of good information.
As far as like registration for next week, if you are concerned at all about course registration, reach out to your advisor who you should have in Workday, and they can provide you with a little bit more specific insight, and or if there's a day issue. The perk for a lot of incoming students is that a lot of you are taking similar classes, and so there are spaces designed so that you can take them. So while your schedule may not be like perfectly ideal, you'll get the courses that you need. And orientation is going to be Wednesday and Thursday. There was like an earlier rendition where we were going to push it to Friday, but they convinced me to condense it down to Wednesday, Thursday for MSW, MSP. MPH, Thursday, Friday. So MSW, MSP, Wednesday, Thursday. MPH, Thursday, Friday. We just want to confuse you all.
Thanks, Tyler.
That's why we're having this info session, and this is recorded. It will be online. We also are posting all this information online. So if you have any questions, let us know. I'm going to now slowly scroll back to my final slide here. which was just some contact information for us. Um, yes, here we go. So connect with us. You will be working with admissions team for just a little bit longer. And then, like I said, we will be passing you on to all the lovely faces on the screen here. However, if you are not an incoming student and you are interested in applying for a future term, the fall 2026 MSW and MSP applications will open on September 1st. So keep an eye out for that. You can always connect with an admissions specialist through our office at brownadmissions@woostel.edu. We also are always hosting in-person visits and campus tours, currently on Tuesday and Friday. That might change in the fall, so just connect with us and check back. If you would like to come to campus for a tour, we are just about at time. So want to thank the panelists for joining us. Would love for you all to just, as parting words of advice that you would like to give admitted students, and then anything, what are you most looking forward to this fall?
I'm just excited for y'all to come back. We're gonna be in Brown and Goldfarb halls. We're gonna have a really great year, and I'm looking forward to the energy that you're gonna bring, and just the noise and the all of that is what I'm looking forward to. And we are so excited for you to come. Just hurry up and get here.
I'd like to add for the public health students that I personally think that there's no better time to be studying and practicing and researching public health. And I'm really excited to meet you all and to help go through your journey of being public health practitioners and researchers together.
Yes, along with everyone else, I'm excited to have you all as come here as well. One thing I want to tell people, well, two things is take a deep breath. You'll be all right. There's a lot of people that's going through this journey, and do not be afraid to ask for help. Because I know sometimes coming into a new space, yeah, regardless like what identities you hold, you may feel this imposter syndrome of going to grad school. And I'm like, I know for some of you all may are breaking barriers to come here. And just tell you all, you'll be fine. You have a support system as well. And do things that you want to do. Take classes that you want to do, not what people are telling you to do, like your family, your friends, because at the end of the day, this is about you and your journey and your life. So again, welcome. Congrats on being accepted to WashU, and we look forward to seeing you all.
Amazing advice to end on. Thank you all, Deshawn, Charlene, and Tyler. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Clarissa and any other admissions folks who've been helping in the chat, thank you. And thank you to all our attendees for attending today. We are so excited to welcome you to campus in just a few weeks. So with that, I will say goodbye. Have a great day, everyone.